So on my Instagram, I said that I would answer some of your questions about my movie FAQIR, and so here I am. And the first question is, there are many scripts and stories you wrote. Why do you make FAQIR first? And so to answer that question, I would say we had a very limited budget. We only had like $15,000, and I would tell you how I financed the movie in another video. But basically, we had a very limited budget and time. We basically had around 6 months in total, and for the shooting, we took a total of 2 months. I think it's more like 1.5 months, but the shooting was very short. And then the audio took another 1 month, and then the editing took several months to like fully make it good. And so also the concept of FAQIR was also it was good for that kind of budget and time. And if you watch the movie, you will know it's very simple. Even the story is very simple. It's very it has some twists, but it's not something too big. There's no big budget stuff going on over there. There's a very limited cast. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we made the film. And also the concept of the film is very personal to me. Like, while I was making the film, I was going through some tough times in my personal life. So the movie really, it felt like I was expressing myself through the movie. Especially for a first film, I think it's really important for a director to make a movie that's very personal to him, because making a film takes a long time, and you gotta work really hard, because you're also not that experienced. So you would go through a lot of mistakes, and you would do some things that are you screw up some things, and it's important that you really personally feel the story in order to keep going. And I think that's the reason why I took that story. And also, I also like the idea of making film take place, the large portion of the film take place in just one location. And that's why in the movie you'll see most of the movie is actually in that room, and there's only one actor in that whole segment. And the reason why is because I was really intrigued by that way of filmmaking. Plus, you don't need much money. You need, like, in a way, you don't even need money at all. So I think that kind of filming was really intriguing to me. Also, for further insights about the way that I filmed the movie and the way I distributed it, one of the mistakes I made while making FAQIR is that I focused too much on the film festivals, that I didn't really focus on completing the movie, which is the audio part of it, which was unfortunately became the weakest aspect of my film. I wish I focused on that more, rather than focusing on submitting to film festivals and winning film festivals. I think that for the budget we had, it wasn't really the most smartest thing for me to do. And I think for the next film, if I make, I'm not gonna focus much on film festivals, or even at all. Maybe I might even distribute it freely on YouTube after the completion, which I'm still considering it. But basically what happened with the film festivals is that there's a certain amount of deadlines that you have to meet, and if you don't submit by that deadline, your film will not be even considered. But film festivals have a it's very difficult to actually win in a film festival, even if it's a really small film festival. And your film really has to be really good, and especially the audio is something that they do consider. So when I submitted it, I was running out of time, and I rushed through the audio. I rushed my audiographer, so that it became a mess. And when you're submitting to film festivals, you're really competing with people who are really, really professional also. So it's gonna be really difficult to go up to that standard, and for that standard to be reached, you really need to spend a lot of time. So one of the mistakes that I made in the pre-production was the casting, because the actors that I chose, I feel like some of them were I didn't spend enough time with them with the rehearsals, and some of them I feel like I gave them a role that's not really that fit for them. I could have chosen someone who is more into it in a way, and I think part of it was I think I could have trained them better, and then they could have really gave a better performance, especially in the dubbing, which was really brought the film down. I think if I spend more time with them in the dubbing, the the film would have had a better audio, and it would have had a better quality overall. Um, and I started filming after the second draft of the screenplay, so I feel like if I spent one more draft, it could have really excelled. And there were a lot of dialogues that were a little cringe. So I think I could have spent more time and looked at it more objectively before I went into the production. But we did have a lot of changes while we were filming, and I think there were a lot of positive changes. We did change around the dialogues. We didn't I didn't film exactly what was in the script as well, like for in terms of the dialogue. So I think in a way we did do rewrites in the shooting, but I think a more comprehensive rewrite would have really helped the movie. So that's it. That's the end of the video. And if I haven't introduced myself, you don't know who I am. My name is Rizwan. I made the film FAQIR, and it's completely on YouTube. And you can also check it out on Vimeo. The links are all in the description. And I'll see you again for a next video where I'll most likely talk about more further insights about the movie. I might even do a commentary on the movie while the movie's playing. And see you again next time.